Did you see this news at the NCAA in November? I'm not really sure what else
I
needs
don't know
to be
what
said
to make
other
of it. I did see the headline, but I don't know what to make of it.
Basically, in November, the NCAA is meeting to all look at each other and say, "What is it that we do here? What is it that you say you do here?" NCAA.
Yes, the Bobs are coming to town.
Yeah, and they are just overhauling. How was it phrased? They're having like a constitutional convention.
Yep.
To overhaul the governance of I don't know, a lot of mumbo jumbo.
They said that they want to plan dramatic changes. That was the phrase that they used.
And again, as I've pointed out many times over, the NCAA has historically existed to preserve amateurism, Tate, and to crown champions. That's it. Those are the two things they do. Amateurism is dead.
Yes.
And Will Wade is holding the knife. So we are now left with the NCAA handing out trophies, and I think they're going to now call a meeting to be like, how shiny should we make our trophy to make sure that, because by the way, they have the two things, amateurism trophies, amateurism dead. Now you have trophies, Tate. The number one sport that exists in college sports, the biggest, the cash cow, the thing that is driving all this conference realignment and TV contracts and everything is football. The NCAA, as a reminder, in the highest division of football in this country, in college football, the NCAA does not crown a national champion. It is the College Football Playoff Committee or the BCS or whatever iteration exists at the time. Like, that's who does it. It's not the NCAA. So now the one function the NCAA has right this second, as it pertains right now, is basically the NCAA tournament. And Greg Sankey's looking at that as the commissioner of the SEC, as he's trying to scoop up every school in the country, and he's saying, I could do the NCAA tournament. I'm going to do the NCAA tournament. I'm going to find a way.
He's like, I'm going to have the SEC tournament, which involves everyone that's good at basketball. Yes.
So I think this is, I mean, to put it frankly, I think this is going to be like a watershed moment in college sports, is whatever comes out of this convention that happens. And the NCAA is going to do their best to like puff their chest out and say, we are very important and you guys need us. But, you know, if I think if they show the slightest sign of weakness and they put out like their new bylaws or whatever the hell the term is for what they're drafting here, and people suss through it and are like, wait, this says nothing. Yeah, I think the NCAA is in trouble. I really genuinely believe this, because I've had people, like, there are a lot of people that listen to the show and friends of ours, family, whatever, that will text me or call me after they listen to me go on a rant about how I think the NCAA might not exist in my lifetime, and they're like, you don't really believe that, do you? I think I really believe that. I really do believe that there will be a point in time where the NCAA will no longer exist, because it serves no purpose. It's bloat at this point.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, I remember when North Carolina was going through, you know, the Butch Davis football scandal, and Ohio State was doing the tattoo stuff, there was like these conversations that were happening with these big programs, basically threatening the NCAA that they would leave. They would disassociate.
Certainly on the message boards, they were saying,
yeah. Well, and then the board of governors, which is basically people on the message boards. You know what I mean? Yeah. The same kind of clientele.
The message board of governors.
They're all having the same conversations, and they were. I mean, and this has happened for a long time. There's always. I mean, there are 1,100 colleges that are associated with the NCAA. Their idea, based on this meeting, is to create a 22-person committee, which I'm assuming Condoleezza Rice will be on that committee. Yes. Based on, if history tells us anything,
Facts.
Coach K will probably be on that committee when he's done coaching at Duke. But if whatever they put together and they put it out, and Sankey and, you know, the Big 12, Pac-12, whatever iteration they turn into, and the ACC and all these groups get it.
Big Ten is also one.
No. I think they disbanded. I think when all these groups get this info, and like you said, they digest it, they realize it's all fluff, it's all BS, there's nothing to do here. Then there's this separate conversation of a large overhaul where there's no such thing as the NCAA. The people that work at the NCAA, they're usually a part of institutions anyway. They probably go back to some sort of member institution within the NCAA, and then they're part of this new whatever group that is formed. It is going to be, I mean, the reason they're having this meeting is because they already suspect something like this could happen, right? I mean, that's the writing on the wall for this. And then they keep saying dramatic changes. I read this article multiple times over, no one even knows what that means. You know what I mean? Like even the guy reporting it is like, there has been no inkling as to what this could actually look like. They don't even know what dramatic changes means. They just know that it sounds good. It sounds provocative. Sounds like they're going to do some work. They're going to make a committee. How many committees do they have at this point? I mean, good God, and none of them do anything. So it's just, they're just trying to kick the can down the road as they always do. And I do think eventually someone's going to pick up that can and throw it away and just say, I'm
enough.
done with this. Yes.
Dude, and as I'm forecasting what's coming next, history is cyclical, and and the same way that cutting the cord with cable was, you thought, why am I paying for all these channels I don't have, Tate?
Yep.
And this is not I'm not the first one to point out this observation, but we're cutting the cord, so we're gonna just basically buy the little, you get YouTube TV and it's just got like the channels that I like, and that's all I need. And then slowly I'll just buy the premium service of the other thing, like one or two there. And now we've reached a point where there's like a trillion.
Yeah. Now I'm spending more on my all my pluses more than I ever spent on cable. Yeah.
And we're 1 or 2 years away from someone stepping up and saying, I'm going to bundle them all together. I'm going to charge you one flat rate, and you can get all these premium services under one thing. And then we'll all say, wow, you just invented
what a great
cable.
idea.
You just reinvented cable. Thank you. I think
kind of like podcasts and radio. You know what I mean?
Podcasts and radio. Yeah. Let's put podcasts on the radio.
Like, wait, what?
Live podcasts that we broadcast on radio. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. I think the same thing is this would be the funniest outcome to me with college sports is like, we break the NCAA disbands. There's no more NCAA, and we start getting like all these conferences. Like the SEC decides we don't need the NCAA. We have the SEC. Let's just crown the SEC champion. The Big Ten does the same. Whatever. And then there's kind of like no national presence, no national governing body that brings them all together and is like, all right, now let's make the SEC champion play the Big 12 champion, play the Big 10 champion to see who's the best. And we go back to like 100 years ago when it was just like, you win the Big 10 and that's it. And then it's over. And that's like, congratulations. Yeah. And now we fight over who wins the national champion. And then the Big 10, like something happens along the way where like even more division happens where like Texas goes to the SEC and then they realize, like Alabama realizes why like the pot is getting diluted, so we're gonna break up and go independent like Notre Dame is. Yep. And then like a lot of schools just start becoming independent. And long story short, I think we're gonna wake up and like everyone's gonna be independent and everything's gonna be broken up. And then schools are gonna start forming conferences. Again. And then there's going to be a national oversight that's like, what if we take all of the conferences and make like a big
Yes. We're like 20 years away from living the exact same thing that we already had before. Yes.
And my great grandson is the guy who restarts the NCAA. In 88 years. He
actually listened back to this podcast. He's like, I got an idea. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.